Hi guys, Piotr here, this is LiteFinance Global YouTube channel, and it's my pleasure to be with you again. What we are going to discuss today is day trading. Now, well, I've heard many different of things related to the day trading. Well, the most important from my perspective is that day trading doesn't mean that you have to trade each and every day. What I mean by day trading is that we are going to trade only during the days with some kind of the volatility. That's the most important thing, in my opinion, to think about. Well, as usual, guys, you have to do your own research. You have to do your own homework, right? So the thing is that each of us has to answer the question if I'm eligible to be a day trader, because not everyone, not each of us could be a day trader. Well, that depends on the whom am I as a day trader, right? What I think about that, what kind of the person am I? Am I patient, impatient? How I wanna make these trades? What is my approach? That's really very important things to consider before you are going to think about yourself as a day trader, right? To be honest with you, from my perspective, that's the one of the most important topic, one of the famous topic for myself, because I can call myself as a day trader. So, without a further delay, let's try to explain what does it mean. Alright, as I mentioned at the very beginning, day trading doesn't mean that you have to trade each and every day. Doesn't mean that you have to take each and every signal to make day trading decision. For myself, to be honest with you, when we are talking about day trading, I'm trying to figure it out, the most important thing related to the charts. I'm trying to figure it out, where do we have some kind of the resistance, some kind of support when it comes to the higher time frame. In that case, we do have euro-dollar chart over here. We have a daily chart, so taking into the consideration this move to the upside, I do understand that I do have a consolidation over here where I'm trying to take the advantage of. In that case, every time when we have some kind of a consolidation, I'm looking for 50% of that consolidation. That's number one, right? And I'm looking for a bottom of the consolidation. That's number two. Well, in that case, if I know what we are doing, what we are looking for, so I do know that during the move to the downside, right, once we are approaching the consolidation phase, I'm looking for a 50% of that consolidation to try to start to trade. Then I'm looking at the bottom of that consolidation also to try to trade, to try to reload or to try to be a little bit in the front of the market. All right, so that's a very important thing. Now guys, taking into the consideration the euro-dollar chart we have here, as you can see, there was a move to the downside, right? And what we were discussing a second ago and what we were discussing previously, that's my consolidation. I'm looking for 50%, and that looks very good as a buying opportunity. In that case, well, as we can see, it was quite a good idea to try to take the advantage of that, especially with this move to the upside. Let's have a look what we have on a smaller time frame, because the most important thing is that, okay, I'm looking for a resistance, I'm looking for a support from a higher time frame, then I'm going lower to try to check, to try to observe what is going on around the very, very important levels. So let's switch in that case to the smaller time frame. So that was the move to the downside somewhere around here. All right, so that's what we have. I'm taking into the consideration these lows. So I know that if we have this type of the price action, I know that once we are going to hit that level, at least during the very first test, I do expect some kind of the bounce. So that's where I'm trying to take my long trade. That's where I'm trying to take the advantage of some levels I've seen before. All right, so let's switch lower. Let's switch to 4-hour chart. In that case, that's our level we are talking about. So in that case, there was a few things to discuss about. There was an attempt to go lower with the immediate rejection. So meaning that at that particular level, knowing that's 50% of the range from the daily chart, once I'm on the smaller time frame, that's telling me that we have some kind of the possibility of the bounce. Of course, we've seen huge bounce to the upside when it comes to that chart, but for me, important thing was the supply level. So in that case, for me, important was to try to take the advantage of the price action I see here, right? And to, with very, very tight stop, to try to run through the stops around this level, right? So that was my first initial target, because it was also related to the price action we've seen before. In that case, I was looking for a long opportunity, right? After the market went a little bit higher. So in that case, that was my entry, right? Why? Okay, let's discuss the entry from the day trading perspective. In that case, in that level, it was something I would call latest market weakness, right? So once we've seen the market test that level, from here we've seen the pullback. That's significant development. All right, in that case, I wouldn't say the longs are in a favor, but once we move higher, that was the perfect point for me to start to look for the buying opportunity. What I've been looking for here, it was some kind of the pullback. Where I would like to see the pullback? Well, in that case, that was the latest consolidation before the market moved lower. So once we took out these levels, right? Once we took out these levels in this move to the upside, for me, that was the demand zone. And we've seen the pullback within the next few hours. This pullback was the setup to go long with a very tight stop and with the target around these levels, and as you can see, we hit these levels. Now, what is most important when we are talking about the developments related to day trading is the things that you have to recognize where we've seen latest weakness. In that case, that was the latest weakness. From here we made lower low. So once we took out these levels, it was immediately working as a demand zone. After such a small pullback, we went higher. In that case, when we are talking about the day trading, meaning that if we can recognize from the higher time frame the support resistance levels, then we need to switch lower to the smaller time frame, and we can try to work around these levels, trying to develop our long position around the support from the higher time frame, and we are working with the development to try to work with the short side around the resistance side. So guys, trying to summarize these things, I really love to do day trading, and for you who knows me, well, I'm working with the higher time frame, trying to check the resistance, supply or support demand levels, and then I'm switching lower. I'm going as low as 10-minute, 5-minute chart to try to develop strategy once we are hitting very important levels. With that being said, I wish you great trading experience. Do your own homework, do your own research, and try to find these levels, then switch lower and try to trade around these levels from the long or short perspective. Thank you very much. See you around.